Good afternoon, and welcome to the Future of Herd Management. My name is Abby, and today I'm excited to introduce to you a solution built for the realities of dairy life. For the early mornings, the long days, and the constant decisions that keep an operation running strong. Here at HerdBeat, we turn uncertainty into confidence, because when your herd thrives, so does everything else you've worked for.
Hi, I'm Seth, and I'm going to pull back the curtain on HerdBeat. HerdBeat is a reusable vaginal insert for cattle designed to provide continuous monitoring of birthing and reproductive health symptoms. The device uses a biosensor to perform pregnancy checks, giving the producer the upper hand on the timeline of their herd. Furthermore, the device can be inserted by the producer on site using a familiar method without the need for any additional labor or veterinary scheduling.
Thanks, Seth. I'm Grant. HerdBeat's core is a 115 millimeter by 100 millimeter T-shaped insert made of IP68 sealed medical grade silicone, designed for durability, reusability, and protection of internal components. Within the insert, integrated sensors track key indicators, such as body temperature, reproductive biomarkers, and an acoustic sensor to monitor fetal heartbeat, allowing for us to detect early signs of labor and potential complications. The data from the insert is processed and transmitted in real time every 10 seconds through the wireless charging station, which acts as both a power source and data hub. This allows for earlier, more informed intervention, reducing cow and calf losses and lowering labor demands during calving season. Jenna, why do producers need HerdBeat?
Hi, I'm Jenna. Dystocia, difficult or delayed calving, is one of the most urgent and costly challenges in dairy production, driving serious health concerns for cows and calves and costing the industry an estimated $280 million each year. Because about 75% of losses occur within the first hour, HerdBeat's instant calving abilities give producers the critical lead time needed to intervene when it matters most. A delay of only 30 minutes can increase calf mortality by more than 16%, making rapid response essential. By enabling timely action, HerdBeat helps save calves, protect cows, reduce costs, and preserve valuable genetics, turning preventable losses into healthier herds.
Let's look at some key market trends for HerdBeat. First, the calving sensor market is expected to grow at a CAGR of 8.5% from 2025 to 2033, and the U.S. holds the largest share of this market at 35%. Second, the 2026 projection for U.S. milk products and production is 234 billion pounds, which includes a 1.4% increase from the year before. Third, dystocia in dairy cattle accounts for 49% of newborn deaths and 28% of involuntary culling of heifers early in their production years. Fourth, a $200 to $250 investment in predictive monitoring can prevent $2,000 to $5,000 in losses per affected cow. And finally, data software is the leading tool for herd management, currently used by 27% of producers, with an additional 30 planning to implement in the next 5 years.
Hi, I'm Casey. When analyzing HerdBeat's external market, political factors promoting animal welfare standards were recognized. Economically, market conditions are primed for the adoption of emerging technologies. Socioculturally, consumer preferences are shifting towards higher protein diets. Technologically, 65% of dairy producers are willing to adopt new technology into their operation. Legally, FCC Part 15 helps to ensure that electronic monitoring devices adhere to U.S. wireless safety standards and regulations. And lastly, environmentally, HerdBeat's reusable design helps to minimize electronic and disposable material waste. Pass it over to you, Grant.
Thanks, Casey. I am the proud owner of Leota Cattle Company. In the winter of 2019, I bought 3 bred heifers. The first 2 calved with no issues. However, the third miscarried while I was at school. By the time I got home, it was too late. I had lost both the cow and the calf. Sadly, this isn't an uncommon experience. We conducted a survey with over 80 cattle producers who experienced the losses and complications firsthand. The results include: first, 78% of producers stated that they have lost a cow or calf due to missed calving signs, and 62% have had it happen more than once. Second, 62% of producers are checking their cows 2 to 3 times per day during calving season, highlighting how labor-intensive and time-sensitive the process is. And finally, 61% of producers stated that they are eager to adopt new technology. Over to you, Landon.
Hi, I'm Landon. Herdbeat is designed for dairy operations that are focused on maximizing reproductive efficiency and minimizing labor demands through real-time, data-driven insights. Our primary customer base includes dairy operations at 100 head or more that are open to adopting advancing reproductive technologies. Herdbeat appeals to producers who value innovation, reliability, and reproductive performance, helping them enhance breeding outcomes, streamline management, and prevent losses due to undetected calving. To highlight how Herdbeat can appeal to our customers, Abby's going to share 2 customer profiles that bring our target market to life.
Meet Sarah Collins, the herd manager at Valley View Dairy, a 7,000 cow commercial dairy in Hanford, California. Her work centers around data-driven decision-making with a focus on reproduction and calving performance. She spends much of her time coordinating teams, controlling labor costs, and trying to secure dependable employees to help monitor maternity areas around the clock. Sarah is searching for a solution to solve her biggest pressure points of staffing and labor inefficiency. Now let's move across the country to Addison, Wisconsin, and meet Tom Johnson, the owner of Johnson Hill Farms with a herd of approximately 300 cows. Being a small-scale operation, his biggest challenge is financial setbacks from losing calves or cows due to labor complications. Tom and his 2 employees are busy with other daily farm responsibilities and cannot provide continuous monitoring of the calving process. Tom is looking for an early labor detection system for his herd because each animal provides a significant portion of productivity, making every calving event critical.
Herdbeat's serviceable addressable market size consists of U.S. dairy operations at 100 head or more. According to the most recent data published by the USDA NASS, there are approximately 11,000 dairy farms across the nation that meet this threshold, collectively managing an estimated 15.1 million head of dairy cattle. Next, Casey's going to share how Herdbeat can benefit these producers.
Amongst our target market, early labor detection allows producers to mitigate birthing issues like dystocia. With Herdbeat, if the loss of a cow-calf pair is prevented, an estimated return of up to $8,632 can be returned to our producers. This value takes into consideration factors such as input cost, labor savings, and output loss. Jenna, let's talk about SWAT.
Herdbeat elevates modern herd management through advanced multi-sensor technology, real-time alerts, reusable design, and no training needed use. Its weaknesses center on low brand awareness, required sterilization, and a higher upfront price tag. Herdbeat has the opportunity to further develop into disease detection and other complications, integrate artificial intelligence, and enter into other livestock markets. Finally, potential threats include producer skepticism toward internal monitoring technology and continued advancements in animal health technology. Seth, how do we stack up against our herd of competitors?
By turning insights into action, Herdbeat provides producers with an economically unique solution. We push the needle and enter the market as a dual-purpose and reusable tool to help producers find the potential of their herd. Compared to our competitors, Herdbeat offers an estimated 40 uses from the rechargeable device, significantly spreading out the investment over the lifespan of the insert. Furthermore, we bring a unique advantage to the table with the ability to detect pregnancy. This further separates us from our competitors, allowing Herdbeat to capitalize upon every use.
Herdbeat's strategy is to revolutionize calving management through a reusable intervaginal detection system. The device leverages internal body temperature, fetal heartbeat, and a biosensor to measure key physiological changes capable of detecting the early onset of labor in real time or potential complications. This allows producers to intervene sooner, reducing cow and calf mortality while strengthening herd performance. To further separate itself from its competitors, Herdbeat functions as a dual-purpose system capable of confirming pregnancy, positioning itself as a precision livestock technology that not only strengthens animal welfare, but helps to minimize economic losses. However, for Herdbeat to be successful in the pursuit of its strategy statement, there are 3 key planning assumptions that must be met. First, Herdbeat complies with AVMA requirements in the dairy farm program. Furthermore, the device can be classified as minimally invasive. Second, Herdbeat's mobile app and data infrastructure is designed and operated in full compliance with major applicable data privacy and agricultural data standards. And third, through Intelligo Industries, Herdbeat has established strong relationships within the animal health industry. I'll pass it back over to you, Grant.
HerdBeat is positioned as the leading technology in monitoring bovine reproduction. Its pregnancy verification, real-time calving alerts, and miscarriage detection provides producers with instant visibility into potential issues, supporting cow and calf health when it matters most. With that positioning in place, how do we deliver it to producers, Abby?
HerdBeat will be available nationwide through Intelligo Industries' online storefront, making it easy for producers across the country to purchase. In year one, we'll take a focused approach with our sales team and product manager, targeting 5 key states: California, Idaho, Wisconsin, Texas, and New York. Why these states? Because together they produce 56% of the nation's milk, allowing us to start where opportunity is greatest and drive early growth. Now I'll pass it back over to our money man, Landon, to talk about our pricing.
HerdBeat will be available for sale through our website and sales representatives. A starter pack consisting of 15 inserts and a charging port will be sold for just under $5,200. If a producer is large enough to warrant buying 10 or more starter packs, they'll receive an 8% bulk discount with a reduced starter pack cost of right under $5,000. For a producer to utilize HerdBeat's advanced data collection and proprietary interface, they must pay a subscription fee of $100 a month for each charging station they use. However, if a producer opts to pay for an entire year at once, they'll receive 2 months free with a reduced annual subscription cost of $1,000. At this price, HerdBeat is expected to generate a healthy gross margin of 53%.
Our customer journey starts with awareness. We reach producers through our website, social media, email campaigns, and targeted PPC ads, along with trade shows and word of mouth within the ad community.
Moving into the consideration stage of our customer journey, customers explore their options and determine if HerdBeat is the right fit for them. This is where they absorb our print media, watch demo videos, hear customer testimonials, and experience the success of HerdBeat via our customer spotlight stories.
We make purchasing simple. Producers can either buy directly online or through a sales representative in select regions for a more hands-on experience.
After purchasing HerdBeat, we keep our customers engaged in the retention stage via our customer support, mobile app alerts, and continued promotion of HerdBeat's success.
After purchase, we focus on long-term loyalty and advocacy through our subscription renewal reminders, promotional offers, and scholarship opportunities that support producers and keep them invested over time. Now the question is, how do we get HerdBeat in front of farmers? I'll hand it over to Jenna to move through our promotional strategy.
To get HerdBeat in front of the right producers and drive real momentum, we're launching a true hooves-on-the-ground promotional strategy. To start, Intelligo Industries will deploy 5 dedicated sales representatives across our 5 key target states. These sales representatives will work directly with dairy producers and industry professionals, providing demonstrations of HerdBeat's real-time and early alert capabilities, answering questions, and supporting on-farm adoption.
HerdBeat won't just be promoted, it'll be proven. We're going straight to the people producers trust the most, other producers. By partnering with respected dairy farmers as brand ambassadors, we'll share real first-hand experience through videos, digital content, and live testimonials, because nothing carries more weight than the results seen in their own barns. At conferences and industry events, these ambassadors will connect with peers to showcase HerdBeat's real-world impact. In return, they'll receive an allowance and a complimentary trial unit, because when producers believe in something, they stand behind it.
Next, come see HerdBeat in action at the World Dairy Expo and the IDFA Dairy Forum. Partnering with Intelligo Industries, HerdBeat will sponsor booth space at both events, featuring producer ambassador panels and live demonstrations. So stop by, connect with our sales team, ask questions, and grab some promotional items.
Moving right into our digital promotional tactics, HerdBeat will invest in high-impact keyword phrases such as dystocia, calf loss, cattle health, and calf death to make sure producers find us first. This strategy will boost website traffic through higher click-through rates and increased page views.
HerdBeat will leverage Intelligo Industries' YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn platforms to share product updates, promotional offers, and insight from our expert sales team. By meeting producers where they're already scrolling and learning, we'll build awareness, strengthen credibility, and keep HerdBeat at the top of the mind, both in the barn and beyond.
Intelligo Industries will invest in email marketing to reach current and prospective customers through sharing product information, producer testimonials, and best practices. These emails will include periodic customer satisfaction surveys so we can gather feedback and improve our offerings.
HerdBeat gets its own spotlight on Intelligo Industries' website, featuring key product details, customer reviews, and demonstration videos. With quick access to sales support and simple online purchasing, producers can find the solution for them without missing a beat.
To build visibility, HerdBeat will leverage press releases, targeted media pitches, and event announcements to help generate earned media across the dairy industry. From widely read print publications and digital content to radio shows and podcasts, we'll make sure HerdBeat is a part of the conversation producers are already tuned into.
Now let's take a look at our cow print promotional tactics. HerdBeat will strategically position print advertisements in publications such as Horde's Dairyman, Progressive Cattle, and Milk Magazine. By publicizing the product's unique description, producer reviews, and ordering details, brand recognition will increase among new and existing customers.
To kick off our Giving Back the Moolah initiative, HerdBeat will be investing directly into the future of the dairy industry by launching a $2,500 HerdBeat Scholarship. This scholarship will support 5 students pursuing post-secondary education in the dairy industry, setting the next generation of producers up for success.
As a part of our R&D strategy, HerdBeat will partner with university research dairy farms to help refine technology and gather real-world data. These farms will serve as live demonstrational sites, allowing students and industry professionals to see our product in action, helping us to strengthen development and build brand awareness.
Now, being legendary means having met the right standards and received the right validations. HerdBeat has met the OADA standard, meaning our product can securely share data across connected agricultural systems. Furthermore, HerdBeat has received the ICAR validation, confirming our product meets internationally recognized standards for accuracy, reliability, and overall performance in animal monitoring systems. Now, our promotional efforts might be great, but Landon, how are we going to make some moolah?
After the introduction of our product in year 1, HerdBeat will aim to capture 0.1% of its target market. We project expansion to 0.19% in year 2 and 0.29% in year 3. This substantial annual reoccurring revenue growth is benchmarked against the broader ag tech industry. In its first year on the market, HerdBeat will incur a net loss of $600,000 after accounting for production costs and significant reinvestment into marketing initiatives and research and development. With allocation of large volumes of fiscal resources towards various promotional programs aimed at providing us with the firm foundation necessary to strengthen market presence, improve customer acquisition, and accelerate profits. These strategic investments will come to fruition in year 3, when HerdBeat is expected to generate a net profit of $2.5 million, and a net profit margin of 25.37%.
HerdBeat's goal is to become the leading precision livestock technology that gives dairy producers real-time insight into reproductive and calving health. To accomplish this goal, we will focus on 4 key objectives that maximize HerdBeat's performance, profitability, market share, and brand awareness.
Our first objective is to maintain an efficacy rate of 96% or higher, measured through customer performance metrics and survey feedback. If our goal is met, performance data will be used to strengthen product credibility and educate potential customers. If our goal is not met, HerdBeat will reinvest into research and development to improve performance.
Our second objective is to increase HerdBeat's net profit to 25.37% through continually analyzing our financial statements. If this goal is exceeded, we'll continue with our current promotional tactics. However, if this goal is not exceeded, we will assess our marketing strategies within our financial reports and reallocate funds towards more beneficial endeavors.
Our third objective is to steadily scale our market capture, measured by comparing sales volume to the number of breeding dairy cows across targeted operations. Performance targets include 0.1% in year 1, 0.19% in year 2, and 0.29% in year 3. If these milestones are met, we will maintain current promotional tactics. If progress falls short, resources will be refocused on proven marketing methods.
Our final objective is to increase HerdBeat's brand awareness to 40, 55, and 70% in years 1, 2, and 3, respectively, measured by website traffic, earned media value, and cost per click. If this metric is met, we will continue with our current marketing strategies. However, if this metric is not met, we will reinvest marketing dollars towards new campaigns aimed at reaching new customers.
The dairy industry is evolving, and the producers who thrive are the ones who adapt. HerdBeat is more than just a management tool. It's a smarter, more connected way to run your dairy. This isn't just about tracking data, it's about protecting your cows and securing the future of your farm. So the question is, are you ready to keep your herd on beat with HerdBeat? Now we'll open up the floor for questions.
Nice presentation. Help me understand what causes dystocia, and is there any way to prevent it currently in protocols?
Right, so first I want to mention that we aren't a prevention. Really, you can't stop it. As far as what causes it, it can be several different factors. If the cow herself gets sick, if temperatures are too hot, it's like miscarriages with really anything else. There can be several different factors that influence that. We cannot stop that. I want to put that out there, that we are just merely a detection system to try to minimize those losses and support that. Because when you lose a calf, it becomes detrimental to the cow itself, especially in that later trimester.
And if I can just tag onto that quickly, I'd love to talk a little bit more about how the device works. So it is not a predictive device. It is a detection. It tells you when something's happening. It doesn't signal that something is about to happen. Or do I have that right?
To an extent, yes. It is a predictive monitoring system. It is not a deterrent. It can't stop things that are going to happen.
It
right?
can just give you a heads up.
Right. So by using the reproductive biomarker sensors, it monitors progesterone and oxytocin, and I can go in a little more about how those affect the whole calving process a little better if you'd like me to. But it picks up on both of those hormones through the sensors within the insert, and that's what monitors that kind of miscarriage detection some. And then that tells you roughly when they're going into labor and the start of labor, and then also using that acoustic sensor to monitor the fetal's heartbeat.
Good, thank you.
I have a question. Your traditional, what is your, the person making the two-part question. The person making those decisions on the average dairy farm, what is their age, their sex, kind of who are they, and why did you go social so hard versus some of the other elements?
So I can speak to the first part of the question. To start, it really depends on the farm size. So our two customer profiles kind of highlight the two types of profiles we might be marketing to. So the larger farms often have a herd manager that's there full-time. They might even have a breeding manager that's solely in charge of breeding, making sure cows get AI'd, pregnancies go well. So we're marketing to those individuals. And additionally, smaller farms obviously have a lot less of the labor side. So we're also marketing to smaller farm owners and herd managers on that side as well. Usually because our target markets are so different, or our customer profiles are so different, the age range and demographics that they might fall into are a little bit different as well, which is why part of the reason why we invested so heavily into social, which I think Casey might be able to go into a little bit more.
I can definitely touch on the social part. We found statistically that 70% of not just dairy farmers, but those herd managers and breeding personnel at the dairy farm, 70% of them are using social media daily. And so we really wanted to lean into the fact that over half of our customer base is going to be present on social media. So we're investing significantly into a social media campaign. The reason we have such the high dollar value that we've allocated to that is reverse engineering, just a little bit of, we can do some napkin math together real quick, and say that if we wanted to reach X number of producers to determine the number of sales we're going to get, we need to reach X number of impressions in the industry. Assuming that 2 to 3% of the impressions that we put out in through our social media campaign, 2 to 3% of those people are actually going to buy, what's the dollar amount of money we need to push into our promotional social media tactics to get that conversion rate and achieve? We're projecting, Landon, like 50 to 60% of our sales to come from something that was initiated through a social media tactic.
Follow up, last one. When you mentioned your print, I guess you're planning to do like maybe one big blowout ad in each of those publications a year and then switch to social. Walk me through what your plan was there.
I know specifically for the print media that we are investing in geo-targeting as well. So we're really trying to target those key states, and the states themselves, the dairy farms are pretty consolidated into certain geographic regions, even within the state. So if we're able to geo-target those ads via our print media, and I think, Abby, maybe how many publications are we trying to do out? Is it, I believe quarterly is what we're trying to achieve.
And the one thing that we want to hit home on is like with the social media, this product is used for anybody. Anyone, like we like to say, that can use a cell phone will know how to use HerdBeat with the app. So we're doing the print publications for the older traditional, dairy farmers to get them to know what HerdBeat is. That's why we hit home on the radio shows, the newspapers, things like that. But we also want to do the social media because, as we know, social media, the network, it's getting bigger and bigger each day. One day, almost every farmer will know how to use a cell phone. So we want to make sure that we're pushing hard on that, and that's going to progress after year 3. So that's why we hit home on that and why social media is such important to us.
So one of the things as you were going through your promotion plan and getting this out there that was missing, in my opinion, is any influencers. Do you have any sort of outright reach to veterinarians, to consultants, to those people that these herd managers and owners are looking to for advice and kind of that partnership?
Can I clarify your question? When you mean influencers, you're not meaning social media influencers, you're meaning
No, I'm
influencing
meaning
farmers.
on-farm influencers, not, hey, look at this I'm using.
Gotcha.
But like actual people that are on farm with them and that they trust as someone that's helping them make a decision. Like, how are you bringing them into the fold for this?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. First of all, in regards to veterinarians, we had majorly discussed that as an opportunity. For us, we really wanted to benefit the producer and the dairy farmer themselves. So honestly, this product might cut some of the vet costs that they might see in a dystocia event that they might be bringing a veterinarian on farm. So we see it as a money-saving tool for the farmer themselves, which is maybe why we didn't target veterinarians themselves. But that's also why we brought in producer ambassadors, because obviously we feel that other producers would trust producers using it currently, which is why we're hoping their words and their testimony on social media and on our website and through the booth space that we might have, that those are the people that would influence their buying decisions the most.
What kind of results or testimonials or trial statements can we make based on what was done at universities so far?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
What type of trials or research studies have been done with the product so far at the university level?
That's a great question. I'm going to touch on one part first, and then Grant, if you have anything to add. The first being that we're really priding ourselves in the 96% efficacy rate. Having the dairy farms doing research with that to maintain a 96% efficacy rate of our product and really helping the dairy farmer at the end of the day, meaning being able to manage these dystocia events and helping them to reduce their economic loss. So I think the biggest thing for us with the dairy farm programs at the universities is to push the efficiency of our product and the accuracy of it to help minimize these economic losses.
As far as what research has been done at Purdue, so with this device, it is based off of something that's already being used by the animal science department at Purdue that is used to monitor pig lactation after farrowing, so once having those litters, and it has been extremely successful. All the data transfers well. The only very, very mild side effect is that it raises internal body temperature by 0.0005 degrees Celsius. So me going up those stairs raises it the same amount. So realistically, as far as using the same kind of technology, it does track body temperature and it does track different kinds of hormones, but it is very similar and has had great success as far as the data transferring directly.
So apparently I need a little more of a one-on-one. How long is this inserted and how frequently are you inserting it? And then I'm going to probably follow up depending on how you answer that question.
It's a great question, and the device itself is so high-tech and dairies are so full of technology that we can only put so much into our presentation, so I'm really glad you asked the question. So the insert, so we got two dual purpose for our insert. So I'll start with the pregnancy detection. When we artificially inseminate our cattle, we've got the cows headlocked, for instance, in the freestall barn already. So the goal there is you AI the cow and then you put the insert in. And then our device can detect pregnancy status within 3 weeks, which is within the heat cycle, the estrus cycle of the cow already. So then that prevents if it detects successful pregnancy, that cuts down on your drug loss drug cost, because many producers will AI their cow and then turn around and already give them another shot of, for instance, like GnRH, to go ahead and set that cow up for the next time in case they want to get right back on it. So the goal for most dairy farms, I think, is to be all of your herd pregnant at one point in time, 3/4 of it. So we're cutting back on time there. So then you would have to headlock the cows again to remove the device, which is why we have the hollow circle at the end of it. That's for manual removal. And then I'll go over to birthing. So birthing, to start there, is off of expulsion. So the device is expelled, which is why it's orange, in case the producer was to miss it. You can find it a little bit easier, just simply. And then for insertion for birthing, we give a 26-day battery life. So most producers with a successful pregnancy detection and their AI date can estimate the birthing down to a week or 2 weeks, and our 26-day battery life covers that. So in theory, you're putting, or not in theory, in practice, you're putting the insert in within 2 weeks of the birthing, and you'll have plenty of battery life to go all the way through that.
That explains so much, thank you.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh.
We could ask more questions.